Let's read Source 8 for the Abolitionists' investigation, titled News Article on Sojourner Truth. Our central question, which is our purpose for reading this source, is how did abolitionists think and interact as they try to end slavery? So let's start with the attribution to find out where Source 8 comes from. Modified news article in the Battle Creek Journal from Battle Creek, Michigan, July 11, 1863, later republished in the National Anti-Slavery Standard newspaper. Link to audio recording of speech, read by a volunteer with a Black Abolitionist archive. And here's the link to find that audio recording of the speech. Now let's read the headnote to find out more details about the source. Sojourner Truth was a Black abolitionist and fought for women's rights. She was born enslaved in approximately 1797 in New York. She escaped in 1826 with her daughter and won a court case for the freedom of her son. She became a devout Christian and a well-known speaker. She went on lecture tours across the country. She settled in Battle Creek, Michigan in the 1850s. This news report talks about and shares a speech from a Sunday school. Okay, now we're ready to dive into the source itself. Let's read this news article that talks about Sojourner Truth's speech. Reverend T.W. Jones said that the speaker was Sojourner Truth. This was enough. 500 persons were instantly on their feet, prepared to give the most earnest and respectful attention to her who was once but a slave. "Children," she said, "who made your skin white? Was it not God? Who made mine black? Was it not the same God? Am I to blame, therefore, because my skin is black? Aren't you criticizing God if you hate some of His children because He gave them black skin? Indeed, children, it is. Your teachers ought to tell you so and root up, if possible, the great sin of prejudice against color from your minds. Does not God love colored children as well as white children? And did not the same Savior die to save the one as well as the other? If so, white children must know that if they go to heaven, they must go there without their prejudice against color, for in heaven, black and white are one in the love of Jesus. Now, children, remember what Sojourner Truth has told you, and thus get rid of your prejudice and learn to love colored children, that you may be all the children of your Father who is in heaven." This short speech from Sojourner was perhaps the most telling anti-slavery speech that was ever delivered at Battle Creek or in Michigan. Scores of eyes were filled with tears, and it seems as if every individual present approved all she said.